Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and let's talk some day trading facts, some day trading truths that will destroy you as a day trader. So if you're looking for, okay, Clay, give me an example of a type of trade that could destroy a trading account, that could destroy a whole bunch of gains, that's what I'm going to show you, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. And when I say show you, please understand right up front, I fully respect, I understand those of you who are like, Clay, I'm sick of hearing about stuff in theory. I'm sick of reading the book where all they're doing is selecting some sort of perfect, example. But I mean, did it actually ever happen to the person writing the book, or are they just cherry picking some sort of example? Nothing like that is going to be going on here. I will be using some of my personal day trading results that illustrate this very, very bad situation out there and illustrates the fact and shows that these sorts of trades can do a whole lot of damage. So when I say destroy you, I don't mean send you under a cardboard box, but what I definitely do mean is potentially wipe out an entire account, wipe out a whole bunch of progress, and just set you back a whole lot more than what is actually needed. Now, to set up context here, what you see on the screen is the trade that you're going to see and the setup that I was looking at before I actually took this first trade. So like I said, this is all going to look familiar as I cut to the trade here. But like I said, I'm not talking in theory. This is all from a personal day trading result of mine, and just setting the context here that this is what I was looking at for the setup moving forward, and you're going to see how this trade played out. So let's go to the live trade part of this video, and you'll see exactly how this setup ultimately turned out and how I played it as a trader. All right, I'm liking 382 as a potential break here. Just 100 shares because not quite sure if it wants to go or not, but if it does, then I think it's got a chance to move very nicely. But there's no doubt about it. Definitely a big area of resistance there. But yeah, let's see if the price can push up through there. There we go. So got a good start to it. So took off some there at just 25 shares. Let's see if we can get more of a move though. Trying to give this thing some time here to try to break out, but I don't like how it's hesitating so much. And that fast just turned around. So this very well could still be a losing trade. If this goes down below 380, I'm going to have to hop out. As it did there, or at least I thought it did. I'm sorry, it wasn't 380. I was looking at the wrong number. That was 381. So I did still play that right. Well, bummer. $72 loss. So as you just saw, took the trade. I got the breakout. I was looking for more continuation. It gave me a little bit, but not enough for me to be able to take any profits off. And then, yeah, completely turned around, and I ultimately had to take the loss. So have you ever been there before? You get into a trade, you start to get a move, but then it doesn't quite work out. It goes back against you, and then you ultimately take a loss. Well, obviously you're not alone. You just saw it happen to me. But let's set up and let's kind of go into the next phase here, because what happens next is a very, very risky psychological spot for us as day traders, even swing traders or investors. And I want to kind of accomplish a couple things here, but let's say that you're still watching this. And again, what you see here is, basically right where that live trade portion of the video ended. But let's say you're looking at this and you're saying, all right, well, I do notice that. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get that trend line into place right there. So you put that trend line into place just as okay, well, that's another potential breakout point, because yeah, it's more than valid to, if you take a loss, to say, well, let me keep an eye on it and let me see if it ultimately behaves like I thought it would behave. But in this situation, for me, I just taken a loss on it. But let's see how these next couple of candles go. Well, you can see right here that these next couple of candles go very, very nicely. So first situation, how do you think that makes me feel? Not very good, right? Really stupid, really silly. Why did I get out? Because the thing ultimately did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and it made a very, very impressive move. And when that happens, you, like I said earlier, you put yourself in a vulnerable spot. What is the vulnerable spot? Well, let's just say, for example, that you ended up buying right there. You're like, hey, look, It's going back up. It did what I thought it was going to do. It's going in my favor. Okay, I do notice that trend line. I'm going to buy right there. So you get in right there, and now you see, okay, well, it's starting to go in your favor. But again, that's exactly what happened in the live trade that you saw firsthand. I bought, it started to go in my favor at the breakout. So same exact premise right here. Starting to go in my favor as it bought, or as it, broke through that trend line. So let's go here to the next candle and the next candle right here. So right here, you can see that the price begins to pull back. Now, is anybody having a case of deja vu here? Is anybody like, well, I could have sworn I just saw something like this happen in real life? No deja vu. You literally just did. You saw me buy the break. I got the breakout, and then it started to move, and then it didn't. And quite literally, the exact same thing is happening here. And the kind of crazy part here is this is literally on the exact same stock. So exact same stock, just a few moments later, same exact thing happening. Bought, got the breakout, and now there's a pullback. So what is this vulnerable spot? Well, assuming you're a rational human being, I'm sure that the thought would come across as, oh, wait a second. I've been here before. I have experienced this where I bought, it broke out, it went my favor, it pulled back, and then what happened? Well, and then it did what I thought it was going to do, and up it went. Right? That's the logical thing to go through. So what you're at danger of is saying, okay, well, I'm definitely not going to get spooked out here. I'm definitely not going to let this pullback here all of a sudden scare me out, and then I miss out on another winner. Because had I just held instead of, gotten out right here, that would have been a nice little gain, a nice little winner. So I'm not going to be a sucker 2 times in a row. I'm not going to let the markets fool me 2 times in a row, because I've literally been to this rodeo before. It happened to me just a few minutes, ago. And right now, again, assuming you're a rational human being, nothing what I'm saying right now is like, geez, Clay, you're talking crazy. Clay, why would you think any of that? Why would you think that it could return back upwards? No, I mean, it totally makes sense why it could return back upwards, because that's literally what just happened here. So you can see a trader saying, no, been here before. I'm not going to let this pullback scare me. And here's where things get tricky, because at the time, yeah, you can see, or as of now, you can call that. You can see, okay, that's a pullback. But here's the underlying fact that hindsight's never going to quite show you, is the fact that, well, yeah, right now it's a pullback, and you consider and say, well, this pullback was a pullback. Well, how do you know that was just a pullback? Well, because you see what happened next, right? You have hindsight. You realize it went in the upwards direction. Now, to be fair, maybe this is a pullback. Maybe this is history repeating itself once again, where it's going to break out, pull back, and continue on up. That is certainly possible. That's not an irrational thought to have. But at this point, you don't know if any of that's going to happen, right? Looking to the right, you don't know what's happening next. This could maybe not be a breakout. This could maybe not be a pullback. Maybe this is a total failure. Maybe this thing is just going to collapse. So what's going to give you a whole lot of potential pain is when you fall into this trap where you take what's happened before and then you forecast it into another trade. Now, this situation, it just happens to be the same exact stock, but it could be the same general psychology where you take this trade and then you go to another chart and then you're applying the same thing. Oh, wait a second. I was just trading that other stock or that other crypto or that other futures pairing or Forex pairing. And I remember what happened here. I broke for the breakout. I got the breakout. It pulled back on me, and then I got out, and then it went in my favor. I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm not going to let the pullback scare me out. And that's all fine and dandy. But here's the problem, is that, well, let's just see what happens. And you can see, look at that. And it's not done going down. Look at that move. So what happens if you would have, nope, I'm holding because it's going to come back. Right there. That's already a pretty nasty gain. But at this point, no. It's definitely not going to come back. And then that. And then and very realistically, I could see somebody saying, hey, see, it's finally turning around. Because at this point, you're already holding and hoping, right? So this point right there gives you some false hope and then completely rolls back over. And you can see how bad that was. And we are talking about multiple points. But isn't that crazy? How same exact situation, but two very, very different outcomes. Right there, As you saw, bought the breakout, got the move, came back down, I'm out. Right here, bought the breakout, came back down, and in all actuality, should have been out. But what's going to destroy you and how you need to avoid these situations is always isolate each trade individually. Because as soon as you start playing well, I remember last time I experienced this, and last time I was actually disciplined, right? So right here, the first trade that you saw was a disciplined trade. Sure, it's annoying. Sure, it's frustrating because then I sit there and watch the thing go in my favor. But think about the people that maybe re-entered the trade, which again is totally valid. To re-enter that trade on the breakout of that trend line, I mean, that's a logical thought to have. That's a logical trade plan. But think about those people that then played well, wait a second. I've just been here. I'm not going to get spooked out. I'm going to hold through this pullback. I have diamond hands. I'm not going to get spooked out. Well, you just saw how bad that actually went. And you can see there, it ultimately went even further down to below 370. That's an account wrecker. That is a whole bunch of gains all of a sudden wiped away. And you do the math on that, and I tell you what, having 2 losses in a row, we're like, wow, bought the breakout, got stopped out. Bought the breakout, got stopped out. Both of those losses would be drops in the bucket compared to getting stuck in some sort of big old move like this. And any honest trader that's been around for a while is going to, myself included, is going to say, yeah, I've been in a couple of these. It's not fun. It digs a huge hole. Maybe it wrecks your account, and it just does not turn out at all the way you would want it to turn out. And these can happen. This is not me cherry picking. You literally saw the first trade, and then you saw what happened next. And that would have been such a terrible experience, if you will, a terrible mathematical experience for my account had I just gone through the thought process of, I've been here before. This time, I'm going to hold through the pullback, which is your mind's way of kind of rewiring things and saying, I'm just going to be undisciplined, right? I'm not going to honor my stop loss, because last time I honored my stop loss, the price went right back in my favor. So this time, I'm not going to get fooled. In other words, this time I'm not going to be disciplined. This time I'm going to hold, and I'm going to hope that the pullback is actually a pullback, and then it reverses back upwards. Because in this case, it was clearly not a pullback, right? It was a full-blown reversal that collapsed. But at that point right there, you don't know that it's a full-blown reversal, right? Because you don't have hindsight. But that's why you always got to keep in mind is, well, what happens if this is not a pullback? What happens if this is actually the beginning of an end and there's some sort of move like this staring right around the corner? Now, in many situations, is the price going to collapse that much? No, that would be misleading on my part. But what is not misleading is it can happen, and it just happened here. So just keep that in mind. How do you avoid these sorts of trades that destroy accounts? You have to look at each trade in an isolated way. You can't sit there and play the last trade. So therefore, I'm not going to get fooled. Because like I said, you're literally just saying, all right, well, I'm just not going to be disciplined this time. I'm not going to obey my rules. I'm not going to obey this risk management stop losses, because the last time I was disciplined, it turned around and made me look like a fool. Don't do that. Look at each trade as an isolated event, and that's how you're going to avoid these sort of just account wreckers, trades that can really do a whole lot of damage as they destroy and eat into, like I said, your entire account or just a whole lot of gains. So just keep this in mind. Yes, I am trying to teach through fear tactics right now. I have no problem admitting that. In fact, just a couple of days ago, I had another kind of fear tactic video. But sometimes fear is the best teacher. And if you realize just how bad things can get as day traders, then if that's what can motivate you and inspire you to stay disciplined, to honor stop losses, even if the previous trade you honored the stop loss and then you would have been fine, you would have made money, doesn't matter, because all it takes is one of these and your account is going to be looking a whole lot different than what it was had you just honored the risk, as annoying as it would have been in the first place. So hopefully this helps. If you enjoy videos like this where I take, kind of theory, if you will, but also back it up with real life context, real life results, as you saw here, then let me know down in the comment section. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. If you've ever had one of these experiences and you have the courage to kind of step out and share it with people, hey, I'd love to see that down in the comment section below. I'm confident that would help a lot of people out. But yeah, get out there and avoid these account destroying trades by looking at every trade in an isolated manner, and don't start to play well, I remember last time. Don't do that game. It's very, very dangerous. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.